all these paintings. I've never seen so much. Look at that beautiful fabric piece. It's just absolutely stunning. And we have some new people here, I think, that may not have been to one of our shows before. We have Patsy Waddington back here, and she came by herself. She was going to come with friends, and came by herself because the friends, unfortunately, we had a funeral. And in fact, we are down a few people that are attending that funeral because they were very close friends. And so anyway, Patsy just decided to come on in spite of being by herself. So we need to greet Patsy. She's over here in a navy shirt, white pants. And we are proud of our art and that you would come. And we also have Andy Sipple's family with us. Andy, you know me. Okay, would you tell us who is with you? Stand up and say it loudly.
Stephanie Harding. Daughter. Zoe Harding.
Daughter.
And from Africa, Dr. Chris Hemmett.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Since we are all family here, it doesn't bother me that I forget names because y'all do too. Now, is that the truth? Raise your hand if that's the truth. Have you ever forgotten your name? All right. Well, that's what is so wonderful about living at Kirby Pines. We really support and love one another. And I'm here to say that on my birthday, I got cake, I got cookies, I got candy, I got bread, I got all those delicious, wonderful things that I don't need, but boy, have I enjoyed every bite. Anyway, that's what our Kirby family does. They send people cards. You don't even know all the people, but you can go by a door anytime, and if they're having a birthday, there's a stack of cards by the door. And it is just really a beautiful thing. I just want to affirm this group. And I'm looking over here at Sarah. Sarah, look at her. She keeps us going. She keeps us going. I tell you, she's an amazing woman with all that she does for us in the dining room. And speaker coming in, she just steps in where she's needed in a beautiful way. So if you're in the apartments watching us, welcome, and we wish you were here. But this is a good show, and I'm excited that you're going to be able to watch it too. Someone said, I can't see the paintings. I can't see the paintings. And look, I said, guess what? They're all going to be on the screen, so you can see all the paintings up close. But after this, I want you to go over there, get you some refreshments. In fact, you really could ease over there and get some now, but we don't want a whole line. Anyway, after the show, have refreshments and enjoy looking at the art up close. Now, there is one announcement that Kayla told me I had to make. And that is turn your phone off. Turn your phone off. I know, Walter, you don't want to turn your phone off. And Carrie, I handed you my phone.
I did it.
And you did it, good, because I had given it to her with the phone on. Okay, there's one more thing. And this is, I've debated whether to do this or not, but I want to do it because I'm looking around at the people that are here at this art show. And I know every one of y'all are concerned about our nation, where we have found ourselves today, where we have been. The future looks very, for me, frightening and unsure. And so I wonder if you would just join with me in silent prayer, and I'll close, and just pray for our nation. Because look, we got a lot of people here. Got a lot of people here. And it's good to pray here and pray there, but when we come together, I think we're like a mighty army. And so let's bow our heads and pray to the Lord for peace in our world. Father, we do come before you with hearts that are unsure about our nation, and some are afraid, and we just have mixed emotions, but we know that the world, the whole world, is in trouble, and we need you, Father, to come through your Holy Spirit and hover over this world and bring healing, Father, healing to this nation, healing to the world, and those people that are caught in the earthquakes and the tragedies that happen in the war, the people even in Iran, that when I think of that, I get scared. But Father, there are good people in Iran that are suffering, Father. So we lift up all the people, not just a few, not just us, but all the people, and especially those that have nobody to pray for them, nobody, no family, no friend, and they don't know you. Father, we lift all those people up to you, and we pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to start this show off with Suzanne Huffnagel. She's going to get up here, and this is just a fantastic piece. She is an amazing artist.
Thank you, Jerry. Am I on? There I am. Okay. Okay, we are back to Red, White, and Blue. Has anybody worn Red, White, and Blue since 4th of July week? Okay. I thought this was appropriate. This particular piece is called America the Beautiful. That's what I mean.
Oh, no.
The pattern is called Trip Around the World. And it was done, I'm going to give you some statistics. You may care, you may not, that's okay. I'm going to give them. And then I have the placement piece, the page that I use to place every piece in order, so you can look at that if you so desire to do that. Okay. This particular quilt has 525 3-inch pieces. Each piece, there are 21 in each row, and there's 25 rows. So you multiply those two together and you get 525 3-inch pieces of fabric. There were 11 different fabrics used in this piece. There are, some of you who've quilted piece quilts before may recognize a half-square triangle. There are 80 of those. 40 of them are right around this big square set on a point right here. So, unlike a lot of quilts where you make a block, in this case, each piece had to be sewn to the next piece, to the next piece, to the next piece. And so when I got all the rows together, then there were 480 places that I needed to match the seams together. Sounds like a lot, doesn't it? But when Mike and I brought this over this afternoon after lunch, and another lady was in here and she says, "How long did it take you to make the quilt?" And I said, "Well, I'm going to have to go home and look because I remember I did write that down." So I don't even believe this, but it's true. It took me 52 days to put all the pieces together. But you have to understand, I do it by machine. Back in 2022, I could see better than I see today. And but I only work on one piece at a time. I don't have several quilts going all at once like some do, but I just like doing one, get that one finished, then move on. I do the piecing, I do not do the quilting of it. This particular one, I believe went to Oklahoma to be quilted. and she quilted it with stars. And, but today I have a lady in Collierville I take my things to, and she quilts them. And usually it takes 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how many she has going in her room to be quilted. So this is America the Beautiful. And even as bad as things seem, we are still the best country there is. So thank you.
Okay, I'm having to sit. Well, what were you saying? Okay. Oh, I thought so. I'm sorry. Okay. Ann Miller is coming now, and she's going to tell us about her painting, which is really a joyful painting, and I really love that. Ann is a fairly new artist with us. She's been, well, she's not a fairly new artist, but at Kirby Pines she is. And I think this is your 3rd show, I believe, yeah. So we are excited to have her. Put that in your mouth.
Okay, the ice cream cone.
Yes.
Well, I love flowers. That was the first thing I learned to paint. I did China painting first, and we did flowers.
No, it's on, but I tell you what, maybe this will help. Wait just a minute. You hold that. We're amateurs around here. Where is it? Okay, now.
Okay, thank you. I love flowers. That was the first thing I loved to paint. I've never done zinnias, but I love them because of their intensity of the color. And I love making bows because we have 3 little girls, and I think I've drawn 5,000 hair bows. So that was an easy, fun thing. And they're just bright and happy. That's all. That's all.
Well, she may say that's all, but it really isn't all, because she brings such joy to our art room. She darts in and out, and even her husband comes with her. Where is he? Oh, he's way back there. He is a big tease, but we love him to pieces because he's always supporting her in such a wonderful way. And now we got...
And I want to say this, and yes, they are beautiful, and they remind me so much of the treat we get from Cindy and Jane.
Yes. Put the microphone at your mouth.
Okay, I'll try. This is my attempt at drawing, painting a magnolia blossom, and it was hard for me to try to get everything with the color combination I wanted. But anyway, there it is, and I saw 3 people told me they could tell it was a magnolia. I'm real happy about that. And I called it Sweet Magnolia.
That's good.
And they told me to skip you and give it to Walter, right?
Well, you can do that. Kayla's not here. It's fine if you do that. Is Walter gonna come up?
No, you're next.
No, I think, Walter, you gotta sit tight, cause I've got to do mine. Okay, this is the painting that I did. These are Georgia peaches. Now, actually, these are Millington peaches. But what I'm gonna talk about are Georgia peaches. There's a big difference if you're from Georgia. But I tell you what, those Millington peaches are absolutely wonderful. They really are, aren't they? Well, I want to tell you the story and how this came about. First of all, we went with friends to Millington and bought peaches. Well, on the way home, I got to telling them about my experience with Georgia peaches. Now, it was years ago. It was years ago when I really was kind of cute, you know? Back, remember the day, in your own day, there were days when you thought you were just kind of cute, right? Okay, well, I was going to Indiana to take Georgia peaches to my daughter. And I wish she were here now, but she's in with her family, John's family, on vacation, or she would be here. But I was going to take her Georgia peaches to Indiana. Well, I got all speaking up. I had a nice little hat on. I was pretty cute. I got in my car and I started up to Indiana. And wouldn't you know, just before I got to the off-ramp that would go to Kim's house, I mean, I could see it. It was like a half a mile away. It was right there. I ran out of gas. It was July, because you know that's when peaches come in. It was hot. Oh my goodness, and that was out on the freeway. Ooh, I was hot. Well, I get out of that car, I see the off-ramp, and so I start walking to that off-ramp. And I'm just pressing along, you know, and a big old pickup truck comes up, pulls up beside me, and this nice-looking young man says, "Lady, can I help you? Can I take you to get gas? Are you out of gas?" I said, "Yes, I'm out of gas." And I looked at him, and then I said, "You know, in today's world, it's risky to get in the car with somebody you don't know." And I thank you so much. You are gracious, and I know, and he interrupted, he said, "And I'm going to turn left on that off-ramp that you see right up there." I said, "I know, but I can walk. I'll be fine. So I started on that. Well, I was beginning to wilt a little bit, you know, and then it just, I don't know, some people perspire. I sweat and was running. And I mean, I was hot as a firecracker. Anyway, what happens is that I get off, go to the service station. They say, they don't even have a gas can. They don't even do that anymore. So I had to keep walking to another gas station. I finally got to another gas station. And I saw this big old van that had children in it and a mother, and actually there was a grandmother in it. And she was about to fill up her car with gas. And I said, lady, I'll pay for your gas. I'll fill your car up. If you would take me, and here I had that big old gas can, if you would take me to my car, you could see it right down there at that, right down about a half a mile from here. And you could see the car from where we were standing, kind of on the hill. Okay, and she looks at me, and then she says, well, lady, in today's world, I just don't know I could risk my children with you. And I'm so sorry, but I just can't. Bless her grandmother's heart. She kind of leaned over and looked out the window, and she said, honey, I think we can trust her. Let's give her a ride. Well, I was wilted down and looking, I mean, I deserved her turning me down because I looked terrible. But that's not the end of the story. That is the blessing. She said, I'll take you back. That was the blessing. Now here's the sad part. When they got to the car and they were about to leave, I looked at my basket of peaches. I wanted those peaches so bad I couldn't stand it. But because they had been so gracious to me, Grandma had said, we can trust her, you know. I said, there's nothing I can do but give them a basket of peaches. And I did. And that's when I cried. They didn't see the tears. But when they drove off, I watched that basket of peaches until it disappeared down the freeway. So when I ate my Millington peaches, I was thinking about my Georgia peaches. Okay, that's my painting. And now we have Walter. Walter, it took me 2 tries back there.
I made it, Max. That's kind of hard to see.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Well, y'all are gonna be really happy. I don't have a story like Jerry's. This was just a mountain scene that I enjoyed, so I thought I would take a shot at painting it. It's just on top of the mountain looking down. Out in the distance, you see some hills, some mountains, a lake. And then you see the sun showering down on top of everything. I don't really know how it came out.
Beautiful.
But I was expecting some boos from the audience. And I
We can accommodate.
okay, well, that really. Maxie told me it didn't come out awful. It wasn't awful, was it, Maxie? Maxie not talking to me. I only have one other remark. I have a friend, John Sosh. All of y'all know John Sosh.
Yes.
Anyhow, John had a suggestion. John always likes to help me out with my painting. His suggestion on this painting was I should chop down the fence, chop the fence down, stack the logs up, and build a fire. I thought that was a good suggestion, but I said, John, you know, it's just too hot to build a fire right now. So I think I'm gonna skip that. So thank you very much for your time.
Okay, Flo Stewart. Yeah, take Flo Walter, and we have a couple of people that have serious visual problems, and yet they haven't let that discourage them from painting. We have an artist that has a lot of tremors now, but instead of painting little tiny brushes, now she's painting big spaces with big brushes. And now this lady, I am so tickled. Y'all know her now, but she is, how old are you now, Terry?
98 and a half.
98. And she has never painted, but she has done everything under the sun, where probably painting and crafts and everything have come into play. But the main thing is that she decided, she walked into the studio one day and she said, I'm gonna die pretty soon, and I've got 3 daughters, and I want to paint something for them, and I've never painted before, and I don't have any paint, but can you help me? Isn't that right? That's what you said. That's what you said. And she has now painted the 3 paintings, and she is good. She's good.
But 2 paintings, I'm gonna have to come back and do 1 more.
That's right.
I don't want my children, 3 girls, to get in an argument over my pictures. So I've got 3 daughters, and I'm gonna do 3 paintings. But I wanna tell you, I would have never been able to paint if it hadn't been for that wonderful lady, that artist that loves Georgia peaches. She would sit beside me, never touch the canvas, but she showed me sometimes how to do something to bring it to life. And she has made me look at things that I have never looked in detail about. And that's what an artist has to do. And I'm so glad that I've learned to look at detail to make things look good. I painted this bluebird because I've always liked bluebirds, because they're not like woodpeckers making a lot of noise, and they don't disturb your trees because they don't pick holes. They find a place that's empty to build their nest. I got that off of Google this morning. But you can't believe everything people tell you. You know what Google told me this morning? They said they're not really blue. It's just a reflection of the sun. Can you imagine telling me they weren't even bluebirds?
Okay, so anyway, I believe that these bluebirds have a good song. They don't destroy, they mainly eat insects, which is good. And I thought, well, that's my favorite kind of bird. I'll leave that with one of my daughters. So my daughter and I went yesterday to get it framed, and she picked out that frame, and she wanted to frame just like it is. And number one, Jerry had already told me when you frame something that's a drawing, you don't put up glass over it.
Yeah.
She wanted a glass over it. So anyway, I hope she'll like it the way it's framed, but if you look at all the other frames, mine is the only one that's really different. And I enjoyed it, and I want to praise her for even getting to Kirby Pines. We're so thankful about that, and making this big art center really busy. It doesn't sit empty. People are in there painting all the time, and they wouldn't be that way if it wasn't for encouragement from Jerry. And I'll tell you one other thing. One other thing. I talked to Maxie about how worried I was about the world and all the things that are going on. And you know what he told me? Quit watching television.
Thank you. Now we have Becky Barker coming, and Becky is a new artist with us, and so excited and just thrilled to pieces. And her husband's been helping her get her art center, not canvas, but easel and everything ready. He's been a real help, and we appreciate him very much.
I did some, actually, art was my major in high school, and I had this stall for my art teacher. If any of y'all remember her, she's done a lot of Memphis paintings. She's the one who got Jerry Lawler at the University of Memphis on an art scholarship, but she was very good. But really, I've never done much with my art at all, other than just a few classes I took from time to time. But mainly my specialty has been smocking and sewing, because I had 14 grandchildren to sew for and smock. I had 8 granddaughters, you know, and I had to make them dresses constantly. But anyway, this, I'm losing my vision. I can't see details at all. Randy's brought me a lighted magnifying glass up to the art room so I can see better for my next one. This one was pretty simple. It doesn't have a lot of detail. But this actually was a hand embroidered piece that I saw and I thought was really pretty. And I love to do hand embroidery. Of course, I can't do that anymore because I don't see well enough. But I've got another one I've done, and my grandson said, he said, send me some pictures of your art. So I did, and he said, oh, they're beautiful. I said, Jonathan, they're not good. I said, but you don't have to be good, you just have to have fun. So that's mine right there.
As Janie's coming, she said something that's very important. It doesn't have to be good, it has to be fun. And that's what we find ourselves experiencing in the art department. Not so much painting a great painting and that type of thing, but to enjoy and just lose yourself. If your knees are hurting, well, if you're painting up a storm, you don't even know you have knees. Go ahead, Janie.
You know, it's hard to talk with your hands when you've got a microphone here, and then you gotta hold up the miniature. Okay. I work in miniatures, and I belong to a club here in Memphis. We meet once a month, and somebody in the club was responsible for coming up with a project to work on. The project for this one was to make a flower stand. Well, I already had a flower stand, so I decided I was going to make mine a workshop. Underneath this, and maybe you can see it up there, Sally Coleman, after we first moved here 6 years ago, had come to me with these miniature tools that were part of a salesman's example box that belonged to her grandfather, who originally started, and I can't remember the name of the plumbing company, or anyway, she told me it was down on Madison Avenue. Well, she gave them to me and said, maybe because I work in miniatures, I could find some use for them. So I made my tool workshop here, and have tried to put other things that I've made. The birdhouse up at the top was made out of paper. That was a project. One month we made several different birdhouses. I made the pencils out of toothpicks, and they're up here in the cup. On the side here, I have to tell you the story about my vise. I looked in on Etsy, which I don't normally do, but a cousin said to me, well, check there, they have everything. So I was looking for some tools that I could add to this. And I said, I need a vise. So came across a vise that was in red enamel and one that was just, metal. And I said to my husband, Marty, who knows a lot more about tools than I do, which one looks better to you? And we both agreed it was the metal one. I went ahead and ordered it on Etsy, and I think it was just under $10. Waited for it. 2 months, showed up on the doorstep. It was in a small box about the size of the base of this. Picked it up and I go, whoa, this is really heavy. Opened it up and it was a full-size vise. It was not what I wanted. Went back and ordered the one that is on here now, which is the red one that didn't look good to us initially. Paint cans. Someone makes, those paint cans, and they were black. I ordered those out of Etsy. They came and they were 2 inches tall, which is about as tall as my workbench is here. So I had to reorder those. But in any case, it's fun putting things together, and since I've had this back injury, I haven't been able to get out into the yard, which is my favorite thing to do during the summer. So worked on this.
Marilyn has been with us really from the beginning of this whole art department that we have, and she's diligent, she studies, and she's wonderful. And so,
I have done this picture of this little guy sitting in this lady's lap, call it the babysitter. The reason why he's with the babysitter is because Mama, Daddy, and both sets of grandparents are at the hospital waiting for a baby sister. And this is about to happen in my family right away, which gives me an opportunity to put in a plug for our writing group. Because we have a writing group here at Kirby, and now we're being published in the Pinecone, and I hope you guys will read it. This will give me a good opportunity to write something about the birth of this new great-grandchild. I hope some of you will come to our writing group too, as well as come paint with us.
thank you. Leora Eli's coming now, and look at that. She just amazes me how she puts these things together. So our mediums are not necessarily watercolor, oil, or acrylic, and just like the little bench there with all the things. It takes real creativity to put things together and to make them like she has done with this. Can you believe that? What is it?
Legos.
Legos. Woo!
Yes.
Legos. I went back to flowers. This is a flower on a lattice. This is one set. The Lego sells them in boxes, and you can put them together so that you can have 2, 3, 4. I'm going to stop at 1. I invite you to come and look at it. All of the pieces are representative of the various parts of the flower, and it's really unique how they design them. I also wanted to take this opportunity to thank all of the folks who made comments on my display that I had last May. I really appreciate it.
Bobby as y'all know, paints like 4x5 paintings or 7x2. I mean, Bobby paints big. Feet. What?
Because 4x5 might be 4 inches by 5.
Oh, I see. Okay, feet, big, large. Anyway, look what he's going to show us. It is amazing. I've never seen it before, and he's going to tell us about it.
Okay, well, hopefully I won't have this thing after September the 21st, but I'm going to have to fool with it now. I want you to meet my lovely assistant, Susie.
The Price is Right.
Yeah, go for it. This is chain painting, and it could be string painting or whatever. And what happens is you take your canvas and you wet it with whatever color you want. And while it's wet, you take a tray like this and put a chain, like a light switch chain, in there, and you put paint in just 2 or 3 locations in there, you know, on the chain. And then you pick it up and you just start swirling it around, and everywhere you swirl, it's going to be a flower. So when you pull the chain, but then you could even do it with 2 or 3 flowers on the same chain if you want to. You could do a whole bouquet at one time by using 3 or 4 chains. But I did about 30 of these things. I do them and paint over. But that's what I had to say. But that's how you get those vibrant colors in there. I guess that's all.
That's wonderful.
I don't see how Bobby makes those straight lines with the chain and Jim. You're great. Okay. All right. Sounds like a winner. Now here's Carolyn Thomason, and Carolyn, for those new people, Carolyn, when I came in to Kirby Pines 10 years ago, she was sitting at a big round table with someone who's no longer with us, and she was painting, and it was a big room with we stored things in it. It was really not an art department, or it was just a big, catch-all. But she was there painting, so she's the one that inspired this whole thing of painting and having art shows. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you. I did this with my alcohol markers, and I brought the alcohol markers so you could see them and touch them and feel them and do what you want to. Don't take them.
She's so adorable.
But I bought these at, let's see, where I bought them.
Michael's.
I bought these at Ross's. And, when you go in Ross's, it's supposed to be a clothing store, but you never know what you're gonna find in there because they display so many different things, and they do display a lot of art things. That's where I got those. And that's what I did mainly with this picture. I did the alcohol markers. And the other thing I used on this picture was watercolor pencils. And the difference between a regular coloring pencil, on the side, you will see a paintbrush. And if it has a paintbrush on it, then you may use it for painting. If it doesn't have a paintbrush, it won't help you. It won't mix, it won't do anything. So if you have watercolor pencils, go through them and look and see if they have a paintbrush on the side. If they do, you may use them. And I also brought my pencil, little pencil. I like to draw with a little pencil. And then I brought my shavings when I want to sharpen that little pencil. And when it gets so little I can't use it, I'll break another one off and start with a little pencil. Okay, and that's my picture.
The way she fills her canvas. Very beautiful, very beautiful. A lot of detail in that. And Sue Benny's going to come now and tell us about her work. She's also a fairly new one in our art department, and we're just so glad that we're getting more people in, and we're getting to see different types of art, and I think that's really important. We're not all doing the same thing, and so tell us about that.
Well, before I start, Jerry, I want to let you know that I consider my grandmother a pretty wise lady, and she told me that horses sweat, men perspire, and ladies glisten.
Yes, but I sweat a lot. Okay, tell us your story.
Mine's a little bit different than what you've seen in the past. I'm sitting there one day and I'm trying to figure out what type of medium to use. And since I'm kind of leery about using canvases because I don't want to ruin one and have to throw it out, I figured I'd start with a regular sheet of white paper. So I laid it down on the tabletop and I got the top of it extremely wet where you see the blue area. And then I took my water-based paints and I just spread blue across the top of it. And I let it dry. Well, when it dried in ripples because the paper was ripply from being wet. So what I did to get the design that I wanted for everything that's up there, that includes the mountain and the water and even the grass area, I then took a fine tip paintbrush and painted all the wrinkles that were in the paper. So wherever you see a different floor mat or a different coloring or a shading or something was all done by little tiny strokes in different colors. And this took me, because I had to wait for it to dry in between colors, probably about 3 months to get it done because I just basically finished it.
That's
interesting. Don't throw out your paper, it's worth something.
We always look forward to Don Miner's coming. He brings us a new painting each time, and all of them are a little different, and I love that. It's very beautiful.
Thank you very much, Jerry. This one is named Rainy Days and Mondays. It's named after a song by the Carpenters, if you remember it.
Mm-hmm.
I painted this one. We've been talking about fun. Sometimes I paint a painting because someone asked me to do it, and those aren't as much fun as if I just pick out something and do it for myself and relax and enjoy every minute of it. This painting is one that sort of satisfied my desire to paint something that was in rain. I've never painted anything in rain. I've painted water before and so forth, but also I've never painted anything that was done in the evening, and I've had an itching to do both of those things. And one of the things it's in common with them is they usually have some yellow or orange type light in them. One of the things that I was paying attention to in this one is I got it almost finished and I said, you're supposed to have a focal point somewhere. You can't let a painting just let your eyes wander all over it. It's got to attract your eye to something. I said, what is the focal point of this one? And I asked Jerry and I asked Pat, I said, what do y'all think it is? Everybody had a different opinion on what it was. So that told me I did not yet have a focal point. And I decided what had attracted me to this particular photograph that I used as a reference were the yellow lamps in it. And so I intensified the light on those and made them more evident. I had thought about the figures that are carrying umbrellas to make them darker, but they're farther away, and I said, that's really not what I want to do. But I lightened the scenery behind them and to make them stand out just a little bit more. But anyhow, those are some of the things that we talk about and think about when we're doing a painting. This one is, by the way, we've talked about mediums up here. I paint in oil, and I don't think anybody else is doing it right now, so we've got a number of different mediums represented up here. But rainy days and Mondays, and I've enjoyed it and hope you will enjoy looking at it so much.
I want to pick up on that. He said he added a little background back here to make it look more rainy in the distance. And you know, if I were painting that or thinking about rain and that type of thing, I would go for the blues or grays or that type of thing. But not Don. And look how beautiful this is. A rainy day in oranges and reds. Well, it's fall, but nevertheless, he didn't go for the deep blues or the grays. I think that's wonderful. Don, thank you very much. And now, has Bill Crosby come in? I don't see him. Bill is an artist that has done this beautiful painting, and the blues and greens, my favorite colors. And he did go to the funeral, so he's not with us. But I have something that I'm going to talk about as it relates to this painting. I was handed this. This is what he would have been saying. It's Vicksburg by the river. Now, he loves the river. He loves the river. He's done several things at the river and points out the fact that the line back here is the river. And he went on a trip with a friend, Mike and Janet Sheehan, and Patsy, you know them, went on a trip up to Vicksburg. And he says, this is a shot looking out toward the Mississippi River. See the blue line behind the fence. Marilyn and Bill were standing in front of this tree. I saw his picture that he painted this from, and there was Marilyn and Bill standing in front of the tree. And then when he finished it, I said, where's Marilyn and Bill? And he said, oh, I just don't do figures, I don't do figures. And so he just painted it without the figures. I think he could have done the figures, and I told him this. He didn't have to put eyelashes on them. He didn't have to put all the detail, but it would be more of the memory if they were in the painting. Because another thing, we paint memories. We don't paint to get in a gallery or, be famous or anything like that. But our memories are really wonderful when we put them into paintings, just like you're doing, Flo. And your daughters are going to be so thrilled. And also, one thing about your painting, the bluebird behind glass, those daughters want their paintings to be saved. They don't want something spilt on them. They want to protect them. So that's why she went that way. And then Jim Golson, come on up. While Jim is coming up, I just want you to know, this is the peach from Millington. All of those peaches came from this peach. I kept turning it around and looking at it different ways. Okay, Bill, we are excited. Bill is our newest artist in our group. I'm sorry.
I'm good.
You're good. He's good. You know who? I'm Jerry. You're Jim. Okay, we are excited about this painting. Thrilled. Go ahead and tell us all about it.
Okay, I haven't done a painting for a very long time.
Put your microphone.
It's been, since I was in high school that I've done any painting at all. But I thought, since there's a beautiful studio here, that I would go ahead and try to do something that that I enjoy, and I did enjoy it in high school. A big focal point or a big thing for me has turned out since I've been here is baskets. And I had baskets at my house, and I brought some of those baskets along with me, and I've enjoyed finding places where I could catch all of those keys or wallets that I tend to lose here and there. So I found a glass basket or a glass bowl that I wanted to paint, and I don't put my keys in there, and I don't put my wallet in there, but it was a neat bowl, and it has a fan behind it. So I thought I would try to get back into the swing of things by doing that. So there it is, and I'm enjoying it so far, and I haven't lost my keys in a fair number of days.
Jim Wilson is a musician, and that is his first love, I think. And he plays the clarinet, and he's done some beautiful pieces here with us, and we're going to hear a lot more out of him. Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. You shouldn't have two microphones close to each other. Anyway, Jim, we just appreciate, there you are, way in the back. All right, we appreciate you so much that you just came into the art department, and he really demonstrates the joy of painting. Not the work, not the seriousness of it or anything, but the absolute joy of coming in and losing himself. And this is a beautiful painting, and I can't believe it had painted since high school. But it's a wonderful piece, and the glass is hard to do. And I think you did such a beautiful job of being bold and brave and doing that piece of work. I think now we need to move on toward having refreshments, and we are going to have another art show in September the 18th. And we're excited about that. I hope that you will come back. And I hope that, I think we have some new people here that have great talent. And I hope that you will, I just saw you back there, that you will, Stephanie, is that your name? Stephanie. We are glad that you're here today and hope that you'll become a part of our group. And we just, again, go get you some refreshments. And I apologize for talking so much about my painting. I won't do it again. Well, you don't know. All right, love y'all.